Yes, guys, what's good? You're tuned into Mango Masala, Pi Radio's South Asian show. My name's Gerns, and I'm joined here by Liverpool's own RVHEEM. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, bro. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Honestly, it's nice to finally meet you. Honestly, I've known of you for some time now, and really like your music as well. But for the listeners that might not know about RVHEEM and what you do you want to just give like a little bit of background about yourself?
I'm a singer-songwriter from Liverpool, and I've been doing music for a few years now, and and yeah,
Like I said, I first came onto you I think it was 3 years ago, maybe. I think the song that I heard, I think it was part of the plan, and I can't remember who you were chatting to, but it was someone on BBC Asian Network, and immediately I was like, okay, I kind of like this. And then since then, I think you released Cellular and a few other tracks, but then I think pretty much since like lockdown or the past year or so, you do seem to have gone off the radar a bit. So
yeah.
what have you been up to in that time?
Do you know what? It's been crazy, and I think I speak for everyone through that lockdown period. I mean, the last two years have just been a bit all over the place, but um, do you know what? Everything was going really well with music. I had just done loads of stuff with BBC Asian Network. I got BBC Future Sounds, and I just done Radio One's Big Weekend. But the thing about that was it was meant to be in Dundee, the actual festival, and I ended up that they like postponed it, but made us film from home. So we kind of done all of our own segment stuff on BBC Introducing from home. And then, yeah, man, lockdown and Corona happened, and I think it was just a perfect opportunity for me to just take time out to myself. And I felt like at the very early stages in my career, like with Cellular and Part of the Plan, and those releases, I felt like the music I was making then was just so it got played on radio, and I just wanted to make music that would like kind of do something, if that made sense. I felt like I didn't really have any substance or much substance even. But through lockdown, I guess taking time to just find myself and live real life and turn that real life into music. And I think that's kind of how that those 2 years have been for me, is just finding myself and getting myself to a point where I'm investing everything into my music properly and myself and trying to make the best music of my life.
Basically, your equivalent of a gap year, right?
Yeah, 2 gap years, man, just like just chilling out and just working really hard behind the scenes.
Sure. But clearly you've been working hard and it's paid off because I saw that you recently signed to Platoon. So do you want to maybe
Yeah.
tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so low key, I'd just been working on loads of music, trying to just get everything together, keep grinding, not really thinking about releasing because I think, we get caught up in that too much. And then, yeah, the platoon thing just kind of came at the right time. So really grateful for that opportunity. And I guess I'm really excited to just see like where it goes and for all of like the new music to come out this year. And yeah, I think I'm very blessed to just have a great team around me at the moment, and we're all working so hard to try and make this dream a reality.
Sure, no, and congrats on that as well. And I really hope it works out for you or continues to work out for you. Um, so that brings us to your new single, For You. Um, I think given what you said about Part of the Plan and Cellular, like don't get me wrong, I still like those tracks. That's how I like found out about you. But when I was listening to For You, it was definitely a really different side to you. And I think given what you just said now, it makes a lot of sense about you wanted to be a bit more deep, a bit more real, because it definitely has got that vulnerability to it, or at least that's what I got from it. So do you want to tell us a bit about the process behind making the track and like what it means to you?
Yeah, 100%. I think you hit the nail on the head. To be honest, it does show that different side of me, and I think I like the whole reason that I even started this music journey was because of like mental health. And I think as like men, we kind of shy away from really showing like how we really feel. And also it's just like there's so many people, it only takes one person out there to kind of be vulnerable and show that they're able to be that person and be themselves and not put on like an act. Do you know what I mean? It's just someone else to think, oh, maybe, you know what, maybe I can do that too. And I feel like everything I'm writing about, and everything you're gonna hear in my music is things that I've gone through and experiences that I've learned along this journey. And it's all about putting it in a way that people can relate to and think, oh wow, that actually makes sense to me. And they might have gone through that thing, but not knowing how to put it into words. And I think for me, I'm finding I'm at the point where I'm able to put it into words for myself, and I hope that it can resonate with people in their own way, and they can take it how it would mean to them.
Nice, yeah. And I think it's a bit of a different genre as well. It's almost more of like a ballad compared to, I'd say your music before was very much, I mean, I'd still say maybe it's still R&B, but your music before is very much R&B, like kind of feel good, that sort of vibe, whereas this is
Yeah,
not necessarily, like say, not necessarily having to feel good. You can like embrace those emotions, like whatever they may be. So yeah, no, I think it's really nice. I think it's a really strong first track of this new era almost. So would you say that the rest of the music that you're planning on releasing is along a similar vibe, or is it just that it might be different, but it's just not gonna be shying away from anything emotions wise?
definitely, it's not going to shy away from anything emotions wise, but it's a. I feel like I'm taking everyone on my kind of journey and the phases that I went through, and I think my music's going to be a great reflection of that. And it's kind of the same, but there's loads of different elements to it. But I think the context of it all kind of fuses it together.
I wanted to ask you as well, because obviously for the listeners who might like be deaf, you're obviously a Liverpudlian, as you can tell by your accent.
Yeah,
I wanted to know, like, what's your thoughts on the Liverpudlian music scene? Because I think until I started in radio, I wasn't really aware that there was much of that Liverpudlian scene. I think you think Liverpool and immediately you're like, okay, Beatles, that's it. But actually, there is such like a thriving music scene, and there's like, so for example, Mike Lowry, to name some, like people
yeah.
are
I'm good
actually doing bits there. So, do you feel a sense of pride, like for the city and like sort of representing that, or would you say that you're just seen as sort of like a UK artist?
No, I'm definitely seen as a Liverpudlian artist. Like, and I am proud to be from Liverpool, and I think the music culture here is just incredible. If people know about the background of the music that's come from Liverpool, you'll know how incredible some of the artists are. And like, there's loads of new upcoming artists. There's so much talent here. It's crazy, and I think unless you're in it, you wouldn't know. But I feel like there's so many people still yet to absolutely smash it out the park, and people are still growing and still learning. But there is some incredible talent in this city, and I am proud to be a part of that, and I'm grateful for it too.
For sure. And I think the fact that you don't necessarily know about it unless you're in it almost makes it still that bit more special. Like it is
Yeah,
still, it's there's no fakeness there. It is like, yeah, you can't shy away from it.
therefore, and I think it's only a matter of time before these select people from the city start actually making a massive impact. I mean, they've already started, but there's so many people to name. But yeah, I think everybody's gonna get their opportunity, and they deserve it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you've done like loads of stuff with BBC Asian Network who've supported you throughout your musical journey so far, which has been amazing. I'd say with your music, it's not obviously Asian in the sense that it's not of the Asian music style or not necessarily incorporating elements of traditional Asian music in it. Do you
Yeah.
feel like, in spite of that, people sometimes would still box you off as sort of like an Asian, exclusively Asian artist rather than seeing you as an R&B or as an artist in your own right? Or do you think, no, well, I am Asian, I'm fine with that, let people think what they think?
It's a funny question, that, because at first, right, like I'd never looked at myself like a British Asian artist, or I just was looked at myself as like an artist, and this is the kind of music I made because growing up I had so many different influences, and I just kind of merged it into my own little thing. But when I started working with BBC Asian Network, it was like, oh, you're a British Asian artist and you're doing this, and like it's nice to see somebody who's like a British Asian artist who isn't making Asian music and is just doing like, I don't even know how to categorize it really, like R&B, pop, um, like soul music, kind of that isn't in that category. But I think once I heard that and it's like British Asian artist, I thought, you know what, I'm actually quite proud to be, and I think I don't put myself in a box of just being an Asian artist. I think I'm a creative, and I've got loads of different genres and influences from them. So I'm quite proud to kind of have that label. If that's kind of what people are gonna go by, or but for me personally, I'm just an artist, and my music influences from all over the world. So I wouldn't put myself in a box.
Yeah, no, you can wear that label of British Asian with pride without having to conform to anything. And that's what we need as well, isn't it? Because I think there are so many different musical genres and elements of music out there that are being recognized more, and more people just doing their own thing. It's nice and refreshing to see someone like yourself who is just, before, when you were struggling to sort of articulate what exactly it is that is your, like, what music you're doing, but at the end of the day you're just doing you, and that's what it is. It's RVHEEM. You know what I mean? It's nice to see that, definitely.
Yeah, I find honestly, I do. I find it hard when people ask me that question because I'm just like, yeah, my influences are so all over the place, and I just take certain bits from certain genres, and just fuse it into my own. So yeah, I think I'm quite proud to have that title, but I look at myself as an artist who's in that industry.
So obviously focusing on For You for now, but what's next? Like, have we got more releases lined up? Like, what's your goal for 2022 and beyond?
Yeah, so my next single is going to be out in April, towards the end of April, and then I'm just gonna take you on a journey from there. To be fair, I'm working on a project at the moment as well, so I don't actually have a date for that yet. But and I've got a couple of shows lined up too, so I'm looking forward to being able to perform this year and get this music out there.
Nice, yeah, no, definitely looking forward to that, and happy to have you back. Like,
Thank you.
obviously, you have this thing with artists. Obviously, people have their own individual relationships with them, and when they're gone or not doing what you would necessarily want them to do in an ideal world, you're immediately
Yeah,
like, oh, why are they not releasing music? Where are they? Where have they gone? But it's nice to have you back releasing music, and just I appreciate that what you're saying about taking that time off, because I know, especially in this day and age where it's so common to just try and drop music as much as possible. I think it's
yeah.
really admirable that you took that time off, just reflective, whatever it is that you needed, and then you're back now, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And I think sometimes, it does just take time, and sometimes you need to focus on on yourself and help build yourself and grow, and then hopefully that ends up being a reflection of your art. So I think for me that was the most important thing, to not have to kind of cave into everyone's expectations, and kind of go at my own pace.
Sweet. So for any listeners that might want to find you on socials or find your music, how is the best way to find you?
Well, you can check out my Spotify, which is Raheem, spelled RVHEEM. My Instagram handles and social medias are RVHEEMO.